Hello!
Welcome to the Tubes of You.
You want me to do this segment? Okay, you haven't got any tubes, old man.
Yes, that's what Tef's. Who's that?
That's my soundboard.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we're going to have a lot of fun with this today.
If the screen doesn't change and I can see what I'm doing. Both of which are like not going to happen.
I'm in danger.
So, yes, I think the audience are in danger.
So what are we talking about today, sweetie?
We're going to talk about legitimate concerns. Oh, they love that term, don't they?
Well, it's not so much the legitimate concerns. This is about the Farage Riots last year.
Ah, yes.
And the people about that. And then you've got your article. Was it your article?
No,
you didn't write this one.
This is an article in LBC and about the amazing turnout for London Trans Pride 2025.
That was last Saturday, if I remember rightly.
And then moving on to the
UK government ignoring the Women's Inequality and Human Rights Commission.
Yeah, and just push their unqualified transphobe choice onto the world. Yeah.
Which sort of leads me on to the Online Safety Act, which is it's a very weird week.
It is.
Well, no, it was like I spent much of the week talking to people about the Online Safety Act who I've never spoken to before, and like they're not trans people, and then have nothing to do with the community, the trans community.
It has such a wide effect.
Well, it was very weird because there was a lot of misunderstanding about stuff, so it was just very weird to talk to them all.
Yeah, it's a very broad church of a subject, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
it affects everybody.
That's
so.
my term these days, broad church, because that's like what people use.
That was a TV show.
Yeah, with David Tennant.
Was it? I don't know.
Think so.
Yeah.
It was really good from what I remember, even though I can't remember who was in it.
Yeah, I
But broad church is one of those terms that I've come not to like because people use it as a get out of jail. Sort of like, because they're like, we're not discriminatory. We're a broad church here. We have a variety of views, and essentially, me or them?
Them, not you. I mean, you are as well, but that's a completely different thing.
Sometimes. No, we all could be, but yeah.
I'm in danger.
That's me.
But yeah, it's the broad church. Yeah, it seems to be used as a term to sort of say, it's not our fault. We just have people of all views in our association. So it sort of gives them like a get out of jail disclaimer.
Do you know what I think about that?
Right.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
We're 3 minutes in. That's
Thank you, Trump. They don't. Can't believe I'm agreeing with Trump there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, you're not agreeing with Trump. He was talking about Israel and Palestine, I think. No.
Ukraine and Russia.
Ukraine and Russia,
and trying to forge a ceasefire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't agree with Trump at all. He's absolutely awful. That horrific individual.
Did we cover the last thing?
And then we're going to be going on to the EHRC.
You just go on. Sorry.
EHRC ignoring 50% of people who contributed to their consultation.
Yeah, it's like can't be asked with them.
That means one of us will disappear. You don't exist to the EHRC. Apparently, yeah, only half of us here exist.
That doesn't really work with.
Yeah, it does.
I have to learn where these buttons are.
It's dramatic. It works perfect.
I will get bored of this after about 5 minutes, by the way.
I think it's fantastic.
It's about 3 seconds time.
It appeals to my ADHD. So the first story is 41% of the 899 arrested for taking part in the so-called Farage Riots last year have been reported for, wait for it, shocker, have been reported for crimes associated with intimate partner violence.
So
who would have guessed?
it's not a very good tweet I copied, but basically it says the article was in the Guardian, and yeah, it's like the Farage riots last year. It's like, oh, we got to protect our women, which is like been the cry of misogynists since dawning eternity. It's like
white knight syndrome.
Yeah, well, you know, like you go right back to sort of like the suffragettes. It was like, oh, we got to protect our women from the suffragettes. Oh, we got to protect our women from the lesbians. Oh, we got to protect our women from, you know, immigrants. Oh, we got to protect our women from trans people. Oh, our women are in danger. Our women.
Yeah, it's like here's the ownership there.
Our women. Yeah. Not their own women, not themselves, but their property.
Yeah, and the property is a big thing, isn't it? And everything they say. In fact, they were out in Aberdeen today.
The Fash.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Don't know. I've seen videos of them making a lot of shouting and noise down by a hotel at the beach, where they think that asylum seekers are housed. But they might be, but they're just there to be racist. To scream racist abuse, and apparently they've been doing this all up and down the country. And it's a bit like the sort of stuff that led to last year's riots. That sort of almost like you say, fake concern for women and girls, that fake concern. Oh, we must protect them from these people.
And in fact, like almost half the people who were arrested for violence last year's riots had criminal records for intimate partner violence or things related to intimate partner violence. So it's like they are the problem.
Yeah, and they're just deflecting it onto other groups. Other groups who have become like the target of hate.
Well, there are women. We can do with them what we want.
Yeah, it's power, control, isn't it? And even though they're the perpetrators, they're the ones that the terrorists should be campaigning against. They're the ones that should be scorned at in society, not the immigrants, not the trans people, not gay people, not asylum seekers, disabled people, etc. They're the people. It's these men, predominantly cis white men, in domesticated partnerships. Domestic relationships, who are creating the most crime towards women, domestic violence, etc.
It's not funny, but the idea of domesticated relationships.
I know. I did just the way there's a phrasing, not awkward phrasing, but yeah, they are definitely taking their they're projecting their nastiness onto other groups and blaming them instead of looking inwards and saying we're the problem. They're projecting it outwards and saying, no, it's not us, can't be us. We protect our woman.
So do you think they actually know that they're the problem, or do you think they honestly believe that?
Do you think they believe that maybe? I mean, brainwashing, the whole manosphere thing, the whole culture of toxic masculinity, of men must be strong, men cannot be seen as weak, men have to be the protectors. I think it is largely a conditioning from their social upbringing and from the peer
Yeah,
groups
yeah.
that they associate in, and the internet circles that they are in. And a lot of this sort of toxic male propaganda gets spread, and it just permeates, and it results in them thinking that they are the saviors, maybe, and that they can't see the problem is actually them. They're not aware, or they're not wanting to own up to it, or because owning up to it would be too much of a sign of weakness, possibly,
Oh,
for their manliness.
yeah. I mean, it's entitlement as well. There's a degree of
Yeah.
entitlement, like men are entitled to have sex. It's like, no, if you can't get a girlfriend because of your politics, then it's not really you're not ugly or anything like that. You've just got ugly politics.
Yeah, it's it's your outlook on life. But yeah, so that was revealing. But it's something we're all aware of.
Yeah.
But to see it so stark as that is very telling.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I saw it. I saw the news story on whatever day it was, Wednesday, I think it was. It came out, and I'm like, why is this news?
Yeah.
This is like fairly obvious.
It's almost like common knowledge to us.
And I realised that it's news to a lot of people, and it's good that it highlights it.
Yeah, because there's many people out there who are not aware of these issues, not aware of the real issues. They're just more aware of the fiction, the idea of the fictional idea that all these immigrants are coming over to attack women, which is complete nonsense. But these fictional issues are promoted by the far right. Exactly. They're promoted by the far right, and they are pushed by a large proportion of the mainstream media. And yeah, so that was a good story it was a good story for raising awareness.
Not good.
The content of the story, but the fact that the story was put out.
Yeah. Talking about story that's been put out there in the world. Interesting that the BBC didn't report. Although actually they did report it.
Eventually.
They eventually reported it, and they eventually reported it in. They buried it in their like local news section.
Yeah, it wasn't like a main headline for them. It wasn't headline news.
Well, this item here, the next one, the 100,000 people protesting transphobia in London, and the BBC went, oh yeah, there was a bit of protest.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Because then people will realise that actually we're part of the problem.
Yes, and trans people actually are very, very well supported, and it's not true that trans people are largely reviled and hated. We're largely supported.
It's getting worse.
Is it getting worse?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But still, not as.
How about no?
How about no?
Yes,
Indeed.
but not.
I really need to do something. I have these with bigger buttons, so I can actually see what I'm supposed to be pressing, because that wasn't what I wanted.
Some more accessible buttons. But yeah,
Definitely accessible
We're all
buttons.
about accessibility on this channel.
Well, accessible labels to the buttons. The buttons I can see fine. It's the labels I can't read.
But yeah, and going on back to what were we talking?
getting old and blind.
What were we talking about again?
We're talking
about.
The train of thought.
Yeah, the trains left the station.
Well, the train's left the station and got derailed about halfway down the track. We're talking about the record 100,000 people who at Transpride London.
Yes, and you were saying, well, actually, the general attitude towards trans people has taken a bit of a nosedive in recent years, but that's largely due to
People like the BBC.
Yeah, the media not correctly reporting on things, or
You are fake news.
only reporting one side and only reporting on the opinions of largely the transphobes, the gender critical, etc.
I noticed that they BBC reported almost everything about the Peggy Sandy
Peggy Sue. Yes.
case, other than the fact that she's a racist bigot and she's homophobic,
Xenophobic, making all horrific, what the lawyer referred to as dark humor, I think.
Yeah.
Which is just a euphemism for she's just an absolute racist.
Yeah.
And she's making.
It's not. They're not that funny.
No.
If you're not a racist, they are not funny.
It's not funny to the Chinese people.
It's not funny to the people from Pakistan who, like, there was some floods and in Pakistan, and she's compared to photos of the people drowning to a bowl of Cocoa Pops, and it's just like
that is horrific.
whoa,
There's no
yeah.
justification for that. And
There is no. That's not funny in any shape of the word.
to even try and justify that is abhorrent. It's disgusting.
That's sex matters for you.
Yeah, and the way their lawyers try and justify the unjustifiable, the frankly just
Evil.
just evil. Yeah, evil. It's the only word for it.
Yeah.
And
I'm just moving around. So
yeah, no, mate, get comfy, and
I can't get comfy, Emil.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, going off topic slightly, but I released
Us go off topic.
No, with my ADHD and autism. Wow.
Us? We never go off topic.
And neurospicy girls. About staying on track. Yeah.
You are fake news.
This makes me laugh.
Is that your new? Is this your new? Just real men, just ordinary men.
Nah, just odd normal men. I just love that. It makes me laugh so much. I don't even know why it does.
I know, it's just really funny.
It's such a viral cultural meme now. But yeah, no, we are
Ordinary men.
So I've been derailed again. What were we on about?
We are still on this one about Transpride London.
Oh yeah, Transpride London was amazing.
But you were sort of segueing because I was saying that I'm not very well, and you was going to segue into about
just
your
a brief
article.
bit. I did an article, and it was brought out in Northwest Byline Times, and it's about the time that this lovely woman here nearly lost her life to sepsis. And
It's the time you saved my life. Because you did.
did all
You
I could.
absolutely saved my life. Literally.
It's just an awful thing, sepsis. And
It is. It's not very fun.
It's not, and not that I've had it, but I know people who have had it and have sadly passed away, and that's how I managed to recognise.
Not me, by the way. I'm still here.
You're not a ghost, and that's how you've managed to.
My arms down here and do the pottery.
Oh, the from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a horrible disease. It takes many lives every
How
year.
to derail Sophie? Just like
It's not hard when you've got this much ADHD going on up here. But so that's just a little segue, and check that out on my Blue Sky. And content warning, it's harrowing.
oh, it's harsh.
Yeah.
I didn't realise how bad it was until I read it.
I'm so lucky you're still here.
so
I love
am I.
you to bits. But yeah, so the online safe. Oh
No,
wait,
no.
wait. But yeah, Trans Pride, amazing. 100,000 people, awesome. We need more of that. So the UK government ignores the Women and Equalities Committee and EHRC, Human Rights Committee.
Yeah.
And they just push in their unqualified transphobe choice to be the chair.
Yeah. It's just, it's shocking. It's not shocking. It's this
No.
Labour government, but it should be shocking. Her only qualification, well, no, it's not. She's like, as I said at the time, when she started her interview, for lack of a better word, to the joint committees, I was actually like, oh, okay, she might be a transphobe, but you know, she's talking the right, she's saying about the right things, and she's saying some good stuff. And then the committees asked her some like more specific questions, and she completely had no answer to them. She has very. So I mean, she said stuff like, "You may have human rights, or like legally entitled to human rights, but unless you can afford lawyers and stuff like that, unless you've got some kind of mechanism to enforce it, then they're just bits of paper." Which I'm like, wow, it's so refreshing to hear somebody in a parliamentary kind of position. She's not a parliamentary position, but somebody like with some authority mention that it's important not only that you have human rights, not only that you have legally enforced rights, but that you are able to enforce them. Either like the police act on them, because the police don't do anything.
Very much so. But yeah, ultimately she's terrible, and she is worse, arguably worse than Faulkner, and she's due to take over in December.
Yeah.
And she is extremely transphobic, has come out with all the usual tropes about, oh, they're biological men, and the usual horror stuff. Of not being real, of me not being a real woman, and us not being real women, and just the usual narratives around sort of that sort of them wanting to define what a woman is.
Well, it's an example of this government, not listening to anybody other than itself and its advisors. So you've had, like, we had Keir Starmer do this from when he was elected, like as leader of the opposition. It would be like he would not care about anybody else, about what anybody else said. His advisors knew what they were talking about, and that was it.
Yeah, ignoring everything else that comes into
everything else, ignoring the democratically elected NEC, ignoring everything. It was just a case of like, I will do what I want to do, and
very authoritarian, isn't it?
Yeah, it's extremely authoritarian.
It's not democratic.
And then you see the same. And you see the same with the Women's Inequality and Education Minister, who's, so it's a joint role because I guess they don't think either of those particular posts are important enough for a single minister to be in charge of them.
More misogyny.
More not caring about schools. But anyway, yeah, her and her, this is what I want, and I don't care what the joint committees say. I'm just going to push it through.
It's shocking, and it's that sort of level of just not listening to the trans community or anyone.
Well, it's not just the trans community. Yeah. It's like she was rubbish on questions about race.
It's like, yeah, I won't be surprised if it comes out that she's also a huge racist as well, because because you tend to find that it's hard to separate one from the other.
Yeah, one prejudice generally pushes onto the other prejudices.
And I find that, and they know about her track record on trans people, but they just don't care.
Well, no, that's why she was hired.
Yeah, it's like they want to do as much damage to
Yeah.
trans people as they possibly can. And this is why we're now seeing more direct action by trans people.
Oh, you're going to talk about the West Streeting thing?
Yeah, there was a group who organised direct action against West Streeting's constituency office, and the Telegraph reported it like they committed some sort of act of terrorism. And all it was like a little bit of graffiti or something.
Yeah, they put something like trans murderer or murderer or
child murderer.
Child murderer, that was it. Yeah, and they smashed the window.
Yeah, and it's like when you think about that, it's nothing compared to the
death of 16 plus
kids, and all the harm that they're doing, West Streeting is doing, by delaying research into puberty blockers and prolonging the ban.
Even just like having the ban in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a case of just delaying research. Research takes as long as it takes.
But the fact that there's this blanket ban on drugs that are known to be extremely effective in treating gender dysphoria in children,
and at the same time promoting weight loss drugs to people who are perfectly healthy.
Omsec or something. Omsec or whatever it's called.
But promoting weight loss drugs to people who are perfectly healthy, but out of work. It's like, oh, you're out of work. Oh, we're going to give you this drug to make you get into work, but it's a weight loss drug,
and it has many more harmful side effects.
A lot of harmful side effects. And it's just a case of, oh, we don't care about that. I don't care about that. I just want to hurt trans kids.
And the fact that they do not listen at all to trans people, like trans people is it a bug? Yeah. Trans people are seen as people like. We're seen as children. We're treated like children. Worse, even, we're treated as trying to be seen and not heard. Like we're not given a voice. We're treated as though we're not adults. We're not able. The infantilization of us. And
it's not just trans people. I mean, this sort of comes on to the next thing about the Online Safety Act.
Yeah, it's a good segue onto that.
Yeah, I mean, I have spent much of the week on various YouTube channels, like the comments on there, commenting and explaining like why it's useful to fill in a petition, even though you don't think it's going to do anything. And in fact, the government has turned around and said they're not going to do anything. But it gives you an opportunity. It's like, 500,000 people signed a petition to revoke.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I know, to reverse the Online Safety Act. And
has there ever been one that big since like the Iraq War?
I was going to say the Brexit ones and stuff like that were, but to reverse the Online Safety Act, and the government just came out and went, we're not going to do it.
Wow.
I know, it's like 500,000 people. Oh, don't give us monkeys about them.
It's just like that sort of denial of so many people and voices of so many people is partly why this country is in the state it's in.
It's authoritarianism, as you said.
Yeah, it's that we're sliding so fast into this sort of totalitarian far right authoritarian regime, UK regime, that it's like people are so fed up. They feel so disenfranchised, so marginalised now.
We forgot to do something that we were going to do.
Did we forget something?
Yes.
What's that?
We forgot to do the apology.
Yes, we'll bring that. We'll bring that. Do you want to bring that apology in now?
Oh, let's do the apology now.
Yeah.
Well, we remember it because we forgot. Because,
Sorry, we should have done this at the start.
yeah, we wanted to do this at the start. But so last week we made some comments that gave people the impression that we were
Tankies.
yeah, that we were in favour of the communist regimes in Eastern Europe, in Russia and in Eastern Europe.
Historical regimes.
Yeah, historical regimes. No, we're not. I
Not
used
at all.
no, I used to be a trot back in the days, but even Trotskyism is it's not any different to Stalinism. It's as bad as Stalinism. So we just want to make an apology, take some time out of this video and apologise to the people we upset.
I apologise because I was sort of making a sort of off sort of flippant remark, if you will, a sort of bit of kind of, I was being quite facetious in my comments of using sort of doing a sort of mock sort of music from the Soviet era, and I was actually mocking the far right. I was mocking how they view anything as remotely socialist as being like Soviet Russia, which is complete nonsense. But Soviet Russia was a very hardened authoritarian regime in very similar manner to Nazi Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people forget that. They don't seem to view the differences between socialism and authoritarian communism. They think, a lot of Americans, especially due to lack of knowledge and education, they sort of group the two together, which is wrong. It's like grouping conservatism and Nazism together. Although they share some similarities, they are very different.
I don't think they share. They're both right-wing ideology, right-wing views, but they don't share anything other than being both right-wing ideas.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Okay.
With sort of socialism and communism.
Yeah.
They're both left-wing ideas, but they are very different.
Yeah.
In the way that they are, in the way they manifest. Socialism is more about the sort of wanting everyone to be equal and to create equity and to make sure that everyone in society is looked after, is supported, is cared for, and that we have a sort of equal footing in society. Whereas communism is complete seizure of all infrastructure and very much a sort of idea of control.
It's more the authoritarianism that's the difference.
Yeah, that's right.
So where you have very much like Nazi Germany was an authoritarian government, Soviet Russia was authoritarian as well. And the reason I remember to do this, the reason that I remembered about this, and that we wanted to apologise for the way we came across, was because the UK is becoming an authoritarian state, not to the level, obviously, that Nazi Germany or communist Russia was, but we are heading towards authoritarianism.
We are sliding
in the way that 500,000 people have signed this petition, and the government says, "Oh, we're not going to do anything about it." And I was explaining to people that even though the government has said we're not going to do anything about it, they still have to have a debate, which means you still have an opportunity to write to your MP about that and say, it's important. This is why it's important. and then your MP has an opportunity to stand up and say
Right.
stuff.
Absolutely, and I realised that the way I was describing political ideologies there is very sort of broad in general, and I realised that there is a lot of more nuance involved, but that's sort of for a different discussion.
Yeah.
But broadly speaking, me and Heather are firmly opposed to authoritarian rule and to have people's human rights taken away from them. We are human rights campaigners.
Mm-hmm.
We believe everyone has human rights.
Well,
and they should be protected above all else.
My bio on Blue Sky says I'm a campaigner for bodily autonomy, and that's like all bodily autonomy. And bodily autonomy is an anathema to far right. Well, not far right. It's an anathema to authoritarian ideologues, because to be able to control your own body and not have somebody else tell you how you do things is just such an anathema to people. So to far right people, not far right, but authoritarian people. When I think of authoritarianism, I think of the far right, which is probably why we fell into the
because
the trap
it can be both on the left and
definitely,
right
definitely,
of the political spectrum, and that's a trap that most people fall into.
Mm-hmm.
They automatically think, oh, left, good, but no, not always. Sometimes left-wing people can have just as sort of dogmatic views as very far right people. They're just presented differently, and that's something that gets overlooked as well. There's a lot more to politics than just left and right. There is your sort of views on sort of liberty and freedom and authoritative control versus sort of the freedom to thrive in a democracy. And there's all these different there's all these different ideologies overlap, interlock and interweave. And the trouble is that politics is often overly simplified and presented in such a manner in order for their ideology to seem most appealing to the largest sort of uninformed demographic, which is something they call populism, and that's what we see with Trump. It's that sort of almost like politics for sale almost. It's like a sort of Trump is a salesperson almost, and he's selling his brand, his MAGA brand of politics, and which we know is not good at all. It's not a good brand of politics at all in any shape or form, as it falls into the authoritarian camp of politics. But anyway, it's just that to say that the reason why some people fall into the trap like we did is that we think too black and white, we think too rigid in terms of Nazi bad, anything this way, this other side from Nazism good, but we forget all the sort of all the other things involved, and that authoritarian regimes, totalitarian regimes can still present themselves over on the far left as much as they can on the far right. So, big apology is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I hope that I made sense there.
Yeah, no, I've derailed myself. Oh yeah, I was talking to people about the Online Safety Act, and how it's important to write to. These are people who are privacy campaigners, and I was like, it's important to get your MPs, write to your MPs and stuff. And I just want to share a little bit of wisdom. If you're going to get a VPN to bypass stuff, firstly, get a VPN that you pay for, because free VPNs will quite often steal your information. Secondly, you're moving the barrier of trust, so you're no longer trusting your ISP or the government. You're trusting your VPN provider is legit, which if you use a big name one, you should be fine. If you use a smaller name one,
more of a gamble.
more of a risk. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And also, Google tends to have a bit of a hissy fit if you log into various different places using different locations, because it's like, oh no, what's going on? You're suddenly in a completely different country.
Yeah, it thinks you're being hacked,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah. So you probably want to turn your Google like email, sign out of your email, sign out of all that kind of stuff if you're going to use a VPN.
That's really good advice.
Yeah, as I say, this is what I've been spending a lot of the week doing, is basically giving that same advice to privacy campaigners, or people who call themselves privacy campaigners, but if they don't know that, then they're not that much of a privacy campaigner. But, well, I mean, that's a bit dismissive, but it's like, that's pretty much privacy 101. Yeah, so... that's all there really is to say about the Online Safety Act. I just wanted to say it because it's like I spent the entire week talking about it to other people who are not trans. So I want to talk about it to trans people.
The Online Safety Act is not good because it's very much it very much treats us all as children.
Well, it's the problem with it is that it's well intentioned. It's like to stopping kids looking at violent pornography or you know, and that's stopping. Like the idea is to stop kids thinking that that's a normal part of sex. Yeah, which it isn't, and that's good. And also to stop them like looking at extremist information, you know, like incels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's all good, and that's all, and you know, extremist racist stuff and things like that. And these are all good intentions, but the problem is that the government, the actual way to have a solution to those is not what the government wants to do. So to tell people that like violent sex isn't a normal part of sex, you have to have a relationship and sex and relationship education, is it?
Yeah, that's the new one, isn't it?
Sex and relationship education actually talks about sex to people who are consuming that stuff. So 14-year-olds, yeah? And the government isn't going to talk about that. The government isn't going to allow that because they're so worried about religious fundamentalists, right-wing campaigners, hate mobs. It's like, why do you not... Like, a big part of me is like, why do you not want children to learn about consent and safe boundaries and all that kind of stuff? But some people clearly don't. And they're the people who, back to the start of the thing, are the people who are like, or are women.
Yeah.
Who have ownership over things. So, you know, that's... To crack that nut is a lot harder than just to say, oh, you've got to put your photo into to accept DMs on Blue Sky.
Yeah, it's quite lazy, isn't it?
It's lazy and impossible to do. And like, all that will happen is now that kids will go and find VPNs, and they'll find the free VPNs because they exist. You can Google them and they'll pop up, and they will steal their credentials, and it puts kids at even more harm.
It reminds me of, you know, the stickers that they used to put on CDs, like music CDs.
Oh, parent advisory.
Yeah,
CD.
that just made me as a teenager want to listen to it more.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, the warning, this is a bit dodgy. Oh, let's go and look at this.
And it's like, oh, we must not let let children be exposed to what they used to call video nasties.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like these X-rated, 18-rated videos, they would just get shared around by your classmates because there'd always be one child would always have a parent who just didn't give a hoot what their child watched, so they just let them watch it anyway, and then that child would then pass it, or they would all go over to that child's house to watch it and be exposed to it anyway, or they talk about it. And in many ways, that's even worse.
That's much worse
secondhand.
because everything gets exaggerated. Because you're not going to talk about. Let's think of a film. Can you think of a good film?
A good film
from the 80s,
like a video nasty.
Okay,
film.
yeah, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
There's one, the 70s one.
Yeah, it's like there's not a lot compared to things like Hostel. There's not a lot of violence in it.
No.
But it would be talked up as if it was like violence from start to finish.
Yeah, and like there was a lot of films that like really sort of gratuitous films from the 80s, like Child Play and Motel Hell, I think it was called, and all these kind of slasher films, which when you actually watch them now as an adult, the violence is over the top that it's in some ways comical. Yeah. But it's like when these got banned, they were banned for that sort of violence. But when the fact that they were banned made children talk about them even more, and teenagers want to see them even more. And so yeah, it can have the opposite effect, really.
I think it will, and I think it will increase. It will increase.
Barbara Streisand effect.
Yeah, the Streisand effect. I think it will increase the use of VPNs amongst kids, which isn't in of itself a bad thing, but
they could actually end up seeing more inappropriate.
Yeah,
content.
they'll just have like crap.
Yeah.
Their accounts will be hacked. All manner of stuff will happen. It's not
the whole child safety safeguarding will just go downhill even more. It's like their attempt to. It's like putting a plaster over a gunshot wound, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like just to use as plaster, but they don't think of the ramifications, the long-term ramifications. It's a short-term. And what they see is a short-term fix, so they can play with, look, we did this. Tick that box off, but it's not. They don't fit. It's not a long-term solution. It creates more problems, and it fixes. It runs into the whole issue of the state knowing too much of your information, especially in the era we're living in now, where Palestinian groups are getting proscribed and trans people are getting hounded and harassed just for being themselves.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of nasty outcomes from this, and which is why so many people have signed in. Ultimately, it's also people just view it as a nuisance as well, because no one really wants to go on through the faff of giving out ID or facial recognition because people see it as an infringement on their freedoms as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I gave my ID. Well, not my ID, but I did a facial recognition thing.
Same.
And it was not a problem, but it's just a faff. And you know, I did it when I had 5 minutes because I knew that I'd never get around to it otherwise because I would just forget.
But the fact that they block your access to what you had access to already, and people can see that as a sort of almost like an attack on their civil liberties and their freedoms, and that it's not good. I think the there's better solutions out there. They could have had a better thought out solution, especially with all their powerful think tanks that they have. This seems extremely lazy.
No, I mean they would have
Yeah.
had the Conservative. It was the Conservative government that
It
passed
was an
it.
overhang. Hangover.
Yeah, no, it was passed under the Conservatives. This only came into force under Labour. Sorry, I'm tired. I've been busy working all day.
Oh, you've done so good. It's going to be
It
good
looks-
when it
looks
comes out.
fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just
More will be revealed.
yeah.
Probably next week.
A teaser. Well, there may well be some. I may well get some beta testers today, which is Sunday,
We're not talking about puberty blockers or,
No.
or hormones.
or beta blocker testers.
Yeah, so calm down, Tefs. You've probably buggered off by now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take that long for them to write a comment in there.
Yeah, unless I really die hard, Tefs, transphobes.
So if you have made it this far, that means you're not a TERF, and and you're okay with us waffling on in the way we waffle on. So you might as well like and subscribe to the video.
Yay!
Boing, 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 boing.
Oh, wait, is it going that way?
Well, it goes one way. I mean, I can flip it round.
Yeah, we're both doing it different ways anyway.
Yeah. So I go that way, you go that way, and then one of us will be right.
Good. That's what we did, I think. Anyway, we've got one more thing to discuss, or have we done this already? No, we've not.
No, we're not really. No.
Yeah,
No.
the EHRC is ignoring 50% of people who contributed to their consultation.
So if you filled in a consultation, there's a 50% chance you'll be ignored.
That's awful.
Mm.
And that's just going back to this idea of no democracy.
Yeah, the excuse they give is, oh, there's too many consultations, we're too busy. It's like,
I know. Saying, oh, we're going to use AI to filter through it and all that nonsense.
yeah, and it's like, okay, that's fine. What are you filtering on?
Yeah.
As soon as you say I'm going to ignore some of the consultations, it's like
You're just going to use the TERF ones, aren't you?
that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, you're just going to look at the transphobic responses and ignore the rest.
And even if they don't, that's what they'll get accused of, and there's a legitimate concern.
Yeah, an actual legitimate concern.
That's what they're doing, and so they're just leaving themselves open to being like their results, their consultation being struck down.
And yeah, and it's all going to be rushed out, and it's all going to become farcical. And I'm just glad that the Good Law Project are have a case against them.
Yeah.
Which will be heard in November.
It'll be heard in
been
November.
told.
The advice should come out 1st of December, I think. Or before the 1st of December. So I think basically the advice comes out after the Good Law Project's case is heard, which is good because it means that it might end up being kicked out completely, I think.
So hopefully,
Yeah.
fingers crossed, because this is awful. This has just been probably one of the worst things to happen to trans people, well, in the UK anyway. So yeah, that's us reached the end of our list. Well done.
Yeah.
Go team.
And only 53 minutes.
Wow, we're getting longer, aren't we?
Yeah. We wanted to be to 20 minutes.
And squishmallows. Woo. I don't know why. I like squishmallows.
You like squishmallows.
They're cute.
Anyway, we'll see you all next week.
See you
Have a
next-
good week.
Have a great week. Love
Okay.
to you all.
Love to you all.
Bye. Bye.